Good morning and welcome to another episode of Josh and Pat. I'm Joshua Klein, joined by Patrick Hassett, and the NFL season has officially started. Last night we had the Hall of Fame game where the New York Jets were taking on the Cleveland Browns. And the New York Jets, after receiving a ton of hype throughout the entire offseason, showed that the hype was just that, hype. Because they go out and lose to the Cleveland Browns 21-16. And now the question is, are the Jets doomed for the rest of the season? And will they win a game this year?
We don't know, Josh, and it's weird to think because they bring in Aaron Rodgers, but I'll tell you what, in a loss last night, Zach Wilson looks like a certified stud.
Well, Zach Wilson definitely balled out. I mean, if you give him a couple extra minutes, we're probably talking the other way on this game. I mean, he went 3 for 5 for 65 yards. I mean, that's the kind of guy that will make your life bad in training camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's a lot to be optimistic about for sure for the Jets. But again, it's a tough way to start the season. But on the flip side, the Browns, I mean, they're rolling. They're looking good. They're wanting to say, hey, we know the AFC North is stacked. It's loaded this year. We're one of those guys. We're in contention. Now, there's some people that say, hey, it's just the Hall of Fame game.
But
None of it matters.
But it's not. It does matter, Josh.
But you know what? I think this is setting the tone for the season.
It does. The Jets are the first team to lose a game this year.
Yep. And
you start looking at it and you go, we can't even get Aaron Rodgers to get on the field.
Nope.
Is he even committed to the team?
Is he? I don't know. So tough look for them. But hey, hopefully, maybe they can turn things around by the rest of the preseason and then going into the regular season. Still some time left. It's not don't press the panic button yet.
Relax.
Jets, but it's relax. It's going to be okay. But should there be some underlying concern? Yes.
Because I was told the Jets might not lose a game this year.
I was told that as well. And if we know anything about the Ravens wouldn't have lost that game.
They wouldn't have. That's not what they do.
Not what they do. So we'll see. Moving on, the Lions were trying to put lions on the sidelines of the field.
An all-time call here.
This was Dan Campbell's initiative to really make the Lions the next great franchise. And if you look at what this guy has done to that organization, I mean, he should get part ownership of the Lions because he's turned it completely 180 degrees going into the opposite direction. And I'll tell you what, if there was real lions on the field, that would be must-watch television.
Yeah, I mean, you put real lions, because think about it. It's fourth quarter, you got the opposing team driving down, they need to score a touchdown. But if you got the lion out there, I'm a little scared. I'm giving second thought.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you put the lion, again, in the opposing team's end zone, and you're running, and all of a sudden you're looking, and you're trying to see, you're checking real quick to see if your feet are, where you are in relation to the end zone, and you look, and you take that quick glance, and there's just a lion staring at you, you're doing a little double take, and I'm not sure that wouldn't be the greatest home field advantage in the NFL, greater than Miami.
Yeah, and you have to think that would be an awesome home field advantage. And you got to start thinking, we've talked about real lions on the sidelines before. The NFL, they say no. But you start thinking about it, what could possibly go wrong? I've seen The Lion King. I know Mufasa. I know Simba.
Yep.
I mean, look, all in all, let lions be lions.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to think how many instances of lions, attacking people have we seen? I mean,
in an NFL stadium,
zero. So we don't really have a precedent for this. So who knows why they're so strict about that? But hopefully, the NFL will stop being the no fun league and figure this out.
Yeah, I don't get it because I can almost guarantee you that there's never been a lion that has attacked a human at an NFL game.
Yeah, I don't think so. Now, what is exciting for the Lions is that they sell out season tickets for the first time since 2002 this year, which to me, I go, how can that be possible?
Right.
Because, I mean, you have to think that at some point when you were like trying to sell season tickets and you weren't getting every seat sold, that you'd be like, okay, We tried at this price. We're gonna drop the price a little bit because you know what's better than making no money, making a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but they didn't do that. They're committed. They're, hey, this is our price. This is what we're doing.
Hold the line.
And now it's paying off, I guess, because 2002 to 2023, they're finally doing it.
Hey, old enough to drink, right? And so the Lions are back. But you got to think, man, things are going a little too well in Detroit. Do we need to hit the pause button?
I mean, I don't know. Well, because it's even in out, Patrick. You don't get Lions, but you get the season ticket sellout.
And that's important. But how is that possible? It's 2002. You don't have.
I mean, Megatron was playing for their team for a minute in between there.
Matthew Stafford was there.
So you have to think that at some point in that time,
they did make
people
the playoffs.
were going to show up and support. But
is Detroit a bad football town?
Maybe it wasn't the organization this whole time.
Maybe it's the fans.
Okay, we'll figure that out. Reports coming out from training camp that Tua's in shape.
Hey, shout out to Tua, man.
Great work, Tua. And now this is an interesting report because that's like, I don't even know what the equivalent of that to like the comparison of another job is.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that's kind of like the prerequisites for being in the NFL.
Yeah, but sometimes you hear about the guys that are not in shape.
I guess, yeah.
They're saying Tua, man, he's got that muscle, he's taking care of the body. He really put in some effort. Look, maybe you give Tua a muscle of an arm, maybe the possibilities are endless.
That's true. I mean, you get a little, maybe he's bulking up so he can throw that deep ball a little bit deeper. Tyreek Hill won't have to, run back on his routes.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be a scary team. And you have to remember, he learned how to fall this year.
He did, which is really important.
Yeah. So now, you have to think, if he gets tackled, he's not going to be passing out.
Well, not
anymore.
And not only did he learn how to fall, but Josh, he's got more muscle, so he can brace for the impact a little bit better. So, if we're talking about Tua, that's this might be a career year for him.
I have to agree. So that's great for Tua. The Paul brothers have a big day coming up. Jake Paul will be fighting
it's Nate Diaz, correct?
Diaz, and then Logan Paul will be fighting in the WWE, fighting some guy.
Yeah.
So
congrats!
Big day for the Paul brothers. Now, let's do a little Jake Paul, Nate Diaz preview here.
Mm-hmm.
A little tail of the tape. What are you thinking about in this fight? Who do you like, Patrick?
Yeah, here's the thing about Jake. He's got to get the boxing career back on here, right? This is he suffered the setback against Tommy, and now he's back for revenge. If he does not beat Nate Diaz, his boxing career is over.
Now the thing is Nate Diaz, former UFC guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He went to boxer, lost, back to UFC guy.
Sure.
So that's what he did, right?
Yeah.
So then, wasn't the whole thing that he couldn't beat a boxer? So he went to fight a boxer and he couldn't beat a boxer. So now but then he goes back to UFC. So does that?
But he's back to boxing.
But does that change the narrative at all or not?
Well, everybody deserves a second chance, Josh. If that's the case.
Okay. Well, hey, hopefully you figure this out. Listen, I'm going. I have to go with Jake Paul on this one. He's an experienced boxer.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Nate Diaz, UFC guy, different sport. Different sport.
Different sport. It's totally.
And if
different.
I know Jake Paul's history about fighting people in the UFC,
it's pretty good.
I like Jake here.
It's pretty good. He's the only people that he struggles against is reality TV stars.
Yeah.
Tommy Fury.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll figure that out there. So good for Jake. There's been reported that there's a baseball stadium at Area 51.
It's an awesome story.
Tell me about this.
Yes, so there's just zooming in on the Area 51. Everybody knows it's where they keep the aliens at or classified documents. We don't know. But they got a baseball field there. And you got to think maybe it's a little bit of a communication tactic. The government did just come out and say, hey, we do have aliens. Maybe they like to spend a little free time out there. America's pastime. Passing the ball around, maybe eating some peanuts in the stands.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like to simulate
Sure.
Aliens to the American culture for sure. They want if the aliens want to live and integrate in normal life with us, they're going to have to know what baseball is. This program, the government moves slow, so they probably started this program back in the when
80s, 90s.
Baseball was really booming.
But it's back now.
And baseball, well,
attendance is up.
So they probably started that back when baseball really was America's sport, and then they really haven't updated it since because it takes a while for somebody to learn baseball, and
The rules, there's
really
a lot of different complicated stuff.
especially if you've never been exposed to it before. Personally, we probably need to put either a football field in there, or make it multi-purpose. You got the football field with the lacrosse lines, and you also got the soccer lines.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those multi-purpose fields have field hockey lines. I'm not saying you don't need to add that, but
I mean that's really a personal choice because if there is male, female aliens, there is male field hockey. There's female field hockey. There's male soccer. There's female soccer. So you're saying, Josh, when you get multi-purpose.
Yeah, you go to the multi-purpose field because there's so many sports that they really need to be learning.
Oh, how could we forget the lacrosse lines?
I think I said. Did I say lacrosse lines?
Oh well, we get the lacrosse lines in there.
Yeah,
and that works both ways as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go all of that, and then we're good. So good for the aliens. Good for Area 51. Last thing on the docket. We got NASCAR preview.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, where are we at this week?
Yeah, we're going to Michigan. We're going up north, the big track up north. Josh, I mean, we're at a big track. Going to need some speed out of these cars. And I'm going with a guy that I think has had a good season.
Yep.
And he needs to get the momentum going back towards the playoffs. And I'm going with a guy that you're going to pick his teammate. I'm going William Byron.
Whoa. I mean, this guy at one point was the hottest car in NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
And that was only 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
So if he can figure out a way to get this thing going back,
he could probably win.
He could probably win for sure. I'm going with the guy who's been done dirty this whole season. Every week.
Getting wrecked.
He's getting wrecked. And it's some sort of controversy. It's never his fault.
Could not be.
And he probably would be in first in the points right now if he didn't get wrecked ever. So I'm going to go with Kyle Larson. And I think Kyle Larson's due.
He is due. Statistically, he's due.
He's due. So we're going to do that. If you're still watching the show at this point, make sure you guys DM us on Instagram at Picks and Pancakes to get a free mug and $10 McDonald's gift card. It's a great deal. All you got to do is DM us.
It's pretty
Second
solid,
thing you have to do is go to picksandpancakes.com to read everything that's happening in sports. And listen, we're wrapping up the week. It's beautiful Friday. Well, weather's looking a little tough, but we're wrapping up the week. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful weekend. We're going to see you on Monday, where I'm sure we'll have a ton of news to talk about. And you have a wonderful weekend. Peace.